Hey guys, I'm here with my September wrap up for you guys. I want to start by saying my reading in September didn't go nearly as well as I thought, but I am happy with the amount that I've read, and I'll explain that. It's that I kind of read so much in the beginning of the month that it was like marathon reading, and so I kind of ran out of steam. Like, instead of reading a set amount of pages each day and just kind of pacing myself, I sort of read a whole lot within like 2 weeks, and because of that, I just completely, like, the last 2 weeks of the month, I just read random bits and pieces of things and didn't really finish much. But I am really happy with what I did read, because, well, everything I read, mostly, I really enjoyed, and also, I feel like altogether it was a lot. It just wasn't, up to par with what I wanted to read this month. So I want to start out with the books that I tried to read and failed at, and they are, the first was The End of Mr. Y. I tried to read that in the very beginning of the month, and I got, basically, I think I tried to read that right after Night Circus, or maybe right before, because it was due back to the library, and I got 30 pages in, and I was hating it. Not hating it, that's too strong a word. It was taking me, an hour to get through, 5 pages. It was terrible. Basically, and I don't know who I heard this from, but I heard, I read a review, watched a review, of, I think, a booktuber who I watch normally, and, he or she, I think it was a she, I'm pretty sure, because most of the booktubers I watch are girls. No offense to the boys, I have, maybe four guy booktubers I watch, but they're all good, they're all amazing. But anyway, this person, said that, it was the only bad review I've seen of End of Mr. Y so far, and I really wish I could remember who said it, but basically what they said was that Scarlett Thomas was not being pretentious, but just trying really hard to be intelligent instead of actually, just sounding intelligent. Because what she said is that she was basically Scarlett Thomas was basically just randomly inserting philosophers' names and different theories on things, and I thought, okay, yeah, maybe I'll be able to get around that, or maybe I'll just feel like I'm learning something. That was my thought. But then I almost felt like what she said was the nice version of that, because then I started reading it, and you guys, it was she was throwing random stuff, random philosophers and random theories and stuff in there, probably 8 or 9 different things, per page. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but it was to a point where I literally could not follow what was going on, because I was too busy trying to sort out all of these different names and theories and stuff in my head. And it could be that I'm just not smart enough to read that book. I don't know. Maybe you need, somebody who is smarter. I don't know. Because I know that, I think it was Astrid the Bookworm. Yeah, Astrid the Bookworm really loved End of Mr. Y, and, I think also Popco. I think it was Popco. But anyway, or maybe it was Going Out. I don't know. But anyway, she really likes Scarlett Thomas, and so that's one of the reasons I was looking really forward to it, is because she and a bunch of other people were just raving about this book. And I just feel like maybe she's smarter than me, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, I'm saying it in a literally maybe she is, because I just really couldn't understand it, and I was just okay. And it makes me sad when when I end up not liking books that other people really enjoy, but at the same time, it's okay, because it makes me realize that, like, all booktubers have different taste, and it's okay to have different taste from other people. But yeah, basically, End of Mr. Y was just not for me. So I returned it to the library after reading 30 pages of it. And the next... Oh my gosh, I've been going on for 5 minutes about this, I'm sorry. The next book that I tried to read and couldn't is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, and I was so sad that I didn't like it. I was so sad, because Raylene from Padfoot and Prongs, she's one of my Padfoot and Prongs 07, she's one of my favorite booktubers, because I love her personality. She's so, like, quirky and upbeat. So when I found out that she liked this book, I was like, dude, I have to read it, because she literally raved about it and she just loved it. And I was like, okay, I have to figure this out, like, figure out if I'm gonna like this or not. And I was really sad that I didn't. And I don't want to go into too much detail, because I don't want, like, I don't want anybody to get mad at me. But, like, the reason why I didn't like it is I did not like Greg as a character at all. Like, I didn't find the book funny, which made me really sad, because a lot of people were saying that was the great thing about this book, is that it was so funny. I didn't think it was funny, and I didn't like Greg's personality. I thought he had a really, like, crappy outlook on life. Like, his outlook on life, like, really actually made me sad. I was just like, man, wow, no. I didn't like the profanity in it. Like, I thought there was, I mean, I don't mind profanity in books, I really don't. But when it seems to an unnecessary point, which I really thought this did, I was just like, whoa. And the thing is that certain books, I feel like, kind of over-stereotype, certain teenage stereotypes, like, over-stereotype, whatever, and or over-exaggerate the teenage stereotype, that's it. And basically, I thought that that's what was going on with Greg, and I didn't like it. I did, however, really like, I'm forgetting the girl's name, which is really sad. I want to say her name was Katie. That might be wrong. But I really liked the girl in it. She was really cool, because she kind of, like, from what I did read, I only got 100 pages through, I'm sorry. I just couldn't finish it. But from what I did read of her, I really liked her personality, because she kind of reminded me of me, as far as, like, really liking movies and having, like, the Hugh Jackman and Daniel Craig posters in her room, because I don't have those, but they are two of my favorite actors. And the only reason I don't have those posters on my wall is because I don't have room for them. But yeah, anyway, I was really sad that I didn't like it. But anyway, moving on to the books that I did enjoy, because this is eight minutes into this now. I'm sorry. I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. It was amazing, 5 out of 5. I'm not going to talk about it here, because I did its own individual review. So yeah. And then I read Flight, which is a graphic novel anthology put together by Kazu Kibuishi, who did the new Harry Potter covers, and he put the whole thing together and has, I think, 2 stories in it, that he wrote and illustrated, and it's like 20 other, really cool artists in there, and it was really good, but I have to give it like a 4 out of 5 instead of a 5, because a few of the stories were only done in pictures without words, and I didn't understand them, which, again, maybe I'm not smart enough, I don't know, but I didn't get it. Like, I couldn't follow the story without at least, like, a few word bubbles in there. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was amazing. The artwork was fantastic. The writing was great. I don't have it to show you because I got it from the library. So, yeah. 4 out of 5. It was awesome. So much, and I'm so excited to get Spellbound and Demon Glass. I'm going to get those from the library, not immediately because I have so many other things to read, but I'll probably end up getting them, like maybe early next year, and I'm really excited to read those, because Hex Hall was great. It had a really good storyline. I really like Sophie as a character. I love Archer, and I was sad for the ending of that book because things aren't looking too good. But I'm hoping that in Spellbound and Demon Glass things progress and are good and all that. But yeah, I really liked all of the characters. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit vague in my reviews of certain books, but since I didn't I kind of forgot to write down what I thought of these in my book journal, and because of that, I'm really, I remember how I felt when I finished them, but I don't remember, I'm having trouble remembering the specifics of why I loved these books so much, but, basically, yeah, the characters were great, the plot was really good, the plot twist was excellent, there were some major twists in there where you're like, whoa, and that was really cool. So yeah, that was, I'll probably do, I think I have to do 4.5 instead of a full 5, but that was because some of Sophie's decisions really bothered me, because it's kind of like watching a horror movie where you're like, oh, don't open that door, the killer's behind there, and the person does, and they die. Not that drastic, obviously, because she's still alive at the end of the book, but it was just, she made some of those kind of facepalm decisions where you're like, no, dude, come on. But yeah, it was very good. And then I also read My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, and wow. Just wow. Again, I have to give it a 4.5 instead of a full 5 because there was one character who just, I mean, there were several characters who bothered me, but there was one character in particular who made a terrible decision towards the end of the book and didn't fix it until 5 pages before the end of the book. And even when they did fix it, I was like, I feel like you're only doing this because you feel like you have to, not because you want to. I feel like you're doing this to save your own skin instead of actually caring about other people. And yeah, so her character, if you guys want an actual review of this, I'm pretty sure I can rant about this book and the feels in it for 10 minutes, if you guys want a legit review of it. I just feel I kind of feel bad about doing a full review on it because I don't have it with me to hold up and be like, oh my gosh, because it was a library book. But yes, this book was amazing. Jace Garrett is one of my favorite fictional men ever. He is adorable, and I seriously wish I had had a boyfriend like him in high school. I mean, my high school boyfriend was cool, but he's awesome. Oh my gosh. And I love Samantha's character. Her sister's pretty cool, kind of weird, but pretty cool. Her mom is the character that bugged me, that I don't really want to talk about. And her mother's boyfriend, I kind of want to just shove him off a cliff. And I feel like that's okay to say, because he's fictional, so it's fine. And just the Garretts in general, their whole family dynamic, I loved. I really like Alice, because she's crazy, but really cool. And just the book in general, you guys, the feels in that book, I cried, I laughed, I got so angry I wanted to throw it. An amazing book. Such an amazing book. And then the last big book that I read in September is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and again, 4.5 out of 5. This book was excellent. It was amazing. However, for some reason, I had trouble. It took me a while to get through it, and I don't know why. It was one of those books where I would read a lot of it in one day, and then I wouldn't touch it for a day or two, and then I would pick it up and read a lot, and so on and so forth. So that's why 4.5, because I don't really know why I was lagging on it. But it was very good. I loved the characters. I thought that the main girl in it was just incredibly strong, and I feel like that's rare. It's kind of rare for me to read a book with a really strong female lead now. I mean, most of the books I read that have female leads, they're like cool and everything, but they're not kick-ass. And this chick was kick-ass, mainly because she was an assassin. And it was the first book I've ever read about a female assassin, and it was just so great. I loved it. I loved the competition. I loved the twists and turns in the book. It was just, I was so glad I read it, and I highly recommend it to everybody. And I'm going to read Crown of Midnight as soon as I can, but again, I have so much to read the rest of the year that it'll probably be beginning of next year, but it was great. Yeah, so those are all the big books that I read, and then, oh my gosh, this is going on 20 minutes, I'm sorry you guys, or it's going on 16, whatever, I'll go quicker now. And then I also read a few Miss Marple short stories. The ones that I read were Ingots of Gold, Bloodstained Pavement, Motive versus Opportunity, and The Companion. And all of these were really, really good. I would say that my two favorites were The Companion and The Bloodstained Pavement. Bloodstained Pavement was really creepy, and it had a really awesome twist at the end that I, did not see coming. Which, obviously, that's the case with all of Miss Marple, basically anything by Agatha Christie. But I usually feel it more with Miss Marple than I do with Poirot. I don't necessarily know who the killer is in any Poirot mystery, but I feel like when he explains it, it's not really a surprise. Whereas with Miss Marple, I feel like every single time it's totally out of left field, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, where did that come from? So, needless to say, I love these stories, they're awesome, and Agatha Christie is the queen of mystery, she's amazing. So yeah, these were great. And then, lastly, I got 60 pages in to Going Postal, but for some reason, I, again, am dragging my feet, but I think it's just because I haven't really been in the mood for reading the last couple of days. So, yeah. And then, last but not least, I got 78 pages into The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Spark, and I really am loving this, but again, I put it down because I wasn't really feeling like reading, but today I have enough stuff to do that I don't really have time to, continue with this big one, so I think I will finish this because, the font is really big, and it's really short, and, also, it takes me, an hour to read, 50 pages, so I should be able to finish this within, 2.5 hours. So yeah, I'm going to finish this one today, hopefully, and I will let you guys know what I think of it in my October wrap-up. So yeah. So those are all the books that I read in September. Again, I wasn't too proud of myself, but I was happy with it. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this video is so long, and, please subscribe if you are not subscribed to my channel. And I will talk to you guys later about my October to be read. Bye.